Real-time class.
Dear third-year preparatory students, welcome to Real-Time class. My name is Shahinaz, and we are going to cover the lessons of your English subject. We are going to cover the different lessons, the rules, and the examples, and then we will have different exercises to make sure that you fully understood the lesson and that you can answer any question about these rules. The first rule that we have is different structures that come after different verbs or adjectives. Whether to use ing or to plus infinitive. This is totally important for you because sometimes you find it confusing. The only rule that you have to abide by is to know the verbs and the adjectives by heart, what comes after which ing or to plus infinitive. And the second important thing is to avoid translating into Arabic and saying the counterpart, because this is totally different. English has a different system of using verbs and structures. So, for example, you have a category of verbs that are followed by a verb ending in ing, or what we call the gerund. You have to know them. For example, like. I like swimming. I like playing tennis. He likes playing computer games. Another verb is prefer. I prefer swimming. I prefer reading. Another verb is enjoy. He enjoyed watching the film. You never use to after these verbs. Another verb is suggest. يقترح. I suggest going to the cinema. Again, a new verb that may be surprising for many of you because it has a to after it, is look forward to. Although it ends with a to, you never use an infinitive. Look forward to, it means in Arabic يتطلع إلى. It is always followed by ing. I look forward to meeting you. You never say, I look forward to meet you. This is totally wrong. This is an exception of the rules of to. We always know that to is followed by an infinitive or a base form. But here, this is an exception. Look forward to. So you have to know these verbs by heart, to study them, to practice them, to read the examples in order to remember them and know that each of these verbs is followed by an ing. So, if you say, I like swimming. You can say, he prefers reading. We enjoyed watching the film. So, all these verbs are followed by an ing. You never use to plus infinitive after these verbs. Another structure that needs ing after it is a group of adjectives that we have to learn. For example, you have interested in. It means مهتم به. After this, you use an ing. For example, you can say he is interested in playing tennis. Another adjective is fond of. It means مغرم به. Likes it very much. You can say, I am fond of swimming. Another example of an adjective is keen on. It means حريص على. He likes to do this very much. So you can say, she is keen on learning English. So we have Each time you have an adjective that is followed by a preposition, in or of or on, and then we have a verb ending in ing. This is another structure that is based on using an ing after it. Another structure that needs an ing after it is the verb see or hear, and then the object, and then you use an ing. So you are recording something. For example, you can say, I saw him playing football. So when I saw him, he was in the process of playing, and that's why we used an ing to give a hint of the continuation or the progression of the verb. Another example, she heard him shouting. So when she heard him, he was in the process of shouting, and that's why we used an ing. And this is another example of a different structure that presents a different idea, and again it uses an ing after it. Here we have a different structure, which is the verbs that need to plus infinitive after them. For example, want, to. You can never use want without to and then the infinitive. Another verb is hope to. For example, you can say, I want to study French. Another example, she hopes to meet him. Here we use to plus the infinitive or the base form of the verb. It means the verb without any ending. No ing, no ed, no s, no ending at all. Another example is would like to. And this is sometimes tricky. If you use the apostrophe D, it means would. Here you have to use to plus infinitive. Without to and would, without the apostrophe D and would, you have to use like with an ing. And this is the difference. I like playing tennis. But I'd like to drink tea. Why? Because would like means won't. So what is applied to won't applies to would like. If you say, I'd like to drink tea, it means literally, I want to drink tea. And that's why you use would like. Here, you have to learn them by heart. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to suggest. You don't have to predict. You don't have to refer to Arabic. You have to know them. And this is very important. Because in the exam, you will have to choose or to complete or to correct. So you have to be totally sure what you are going to use, or else you would confuse them and the result would be a mistake. Another structure that is sometimes tricky is used to, and after it is the infinitive. It means كان معتاد أن يفعل شيء في الماضي, but this stopped. So if I'm talking about the past, about my routines, my habits in the past, I use used to. For example, I say, I used to wake up early when I was a student. This sentence means that this was my routine in the past, but now it changed. It means that now I don't have to wake up early. So I'm talking about the past. And this is expressed in used to without any verb before it, and then the infinitive. Another example, you can say, he used to like swimming, but now he likes running. Of course, this is totally clear that this was a situation in the past that has changed today. The other structure is verb to be plus used to plus ing. This is a different rule. This rule talks about the present. I'm talking about my habits and my routines today. So I'm talking about the present, not the past. And I'm talking about something that is continued. So, for example, you can say, he is used to swimming for hours. Here I'm talking about the present. I'm talking about his habits today, about what he does at the present time. I'm not talking about the past. And this is clear from the use of verb to be, and then used to, and here used to is followed by an ing and not infinitive. This is totally different because in the exam you can be asked to choose either be used to plus ing or used to plus infinitive. You have to decide, am I talking about the past or the present? Because it depends on the timing in order to choose which structure you are going to use. Let's have some exercises to check that we understood the different structures that we have learned. For example, if you are asked to correct a verb in a sentence like Ahmed is used to early, and you have the verb get up, and you are asked to correct the verb or to use it in the correct form. Don't look at used to because it can be confusing. Look what precedes it or comes before it. If you have verb to be, then you have the structure of be plus used to plus ing. Then, in this case, you have to use getting up. Is used to getting up early. Here I'm talking about his habit in the present, what he is doing these days. Another example, you can say Salma used to the bus when she was studying. If you have the verb take, you have to look which structure is used. Used to. What comes before it? The subject. Then you don't have verb to be. Then you have the other structure of used to, which is followed by an infinitive. Then you have to use take as infinitive. She used to take the bus when she was young or when she was studying. Then I'm talking about the past. I'm not talking about the present case. That's why we used to for past habits. Another example, they would like fresh juice. And we have the verb have. Don't look at like. See what comes before it. If you have the apostrophe D, it means would. And we know that if you use like alone, you have to use to plus, you have to use the verb with an ing. But if you have would before it, then you use to plus infinitive. Then they would like to have. This is because would like equals won't. Just as you say want to, you say would like to. And then you have to use the infinitive. Another example, he is fond of computer games. And you have the verb play. Fond of, one of the adjectives that are followed by a preposition, and these are the structures that need ing after them. He is fond of, هو مغرم ب. Then you have to use an ing, you add an ing to play and it becomes play. He's fond of playing tennis or playing computer games. He's fond of listening to music. Whatever fond of, interested in, keen on, all these adjectives are followed by an ing form. With this, we come to the end of our lesson. Hope it was easy and interesting for you. In this lesson, we covered two different rules. The rule of linking sentences with not only and but also or as well. And we learned the structures of the infinitive or the ing. It is very important to understand the rules well, to study the examples very well, to learn how to use each structure, the conditions of using it, and then to practice the exercises in order to make sure of understanding and grasping the rule. Dear students, thanks for the time you spent with us. Hope the lesson was interesting and useful for you. It was easy, and we hope to meet you again in the next lesson. Shahinaz was with you from Realtime class.
What else? Learn and enjoy. Free quiz, model answers, live sessions with teachers,